What's going on YouTube? This is Chris 6 and I'm coming at you guys with another album review, and this is the review on the new Saliva album that just released September 8th, and I'll be coming up right after the intro.
You need the hottest wrestling streams on YouTube? Chris 6 Asylum. You're looking for the hottest album reviews from your favorite artist, Chris 6 Asylum. Every time you log on to YouTube, Chris 6 Asylum. That's SIXX with the flex, and you're hearing it first from Mr. Jones, Mr.J1S.
Right, here is my thoughts and opinions on the new Saliva album that come out September 8th, and that album is called Revelation. And I'll tell you, during the album I had a revelation myself. For one, where the fuck did Saliva go? It don't sound like Saliva. Definitely not a Saliva album up into the last song, but I will get there. I will get there. Album started off not bad, but okay. Now, if this is a Saliva album, going to say Saliva album, does not sound anything like Saliva. Same kind of thing. Deal with like all the modern band, modern takes on the music of yesteryear's bands. They are trying to jump on the train of what's going commercial now, and damn, does it sound like it. It sounds super commercial compared to most typical Saliva albums. It sounds like a lot of every other copy-paste band at the moment. Not saying that is a bad thing, but we'll get into something here. The songs start out, we've got some screaming vocals, I guess. Bobby cannot scream for shit. It sounds more like he's grunting than growling. Need to cut the screaming out. To be honest, the singing, the vocals, great. Vocals are great, spot on. The musicianship is great. All the way through, the entire album sounds tight. Does not sound like Saliva though, until the last song. The last song, Horizon. Oh my. I actually got to Horizon. I'm getting to the very last song. There's 12 songs on this album. I got to track 11, and I looked down and I seen, okay, the last song is Horizon, and I'm sitting there, dear God, I'm glad this is the final song. Like I can't take much more of this for being a Saliva album. Like, this is not that great. But then that song hit, and I'm like, I didn't want it to end. They needed to do more of that. 12 songs was way too much. They could have cut out a bunch. Could have done a Dax, to be honest, and released a 7-song okay album. Like I said, to keep Horizon, that would have been one of the tracks. I would have got rid of the tracks with the growl, gargle, grunting vocals. It didn't sound that great. But outside of that, though, if I was to rate the album for Saliva, I would give it almost a 3-star rating. If it wasn't Saliva, if Saliva's name was not on it, it was named something different, being that it's not Josie Scott as the lead singer anymore, hasn't been since 2011, so 12, 13 years ago, about roughly. So he ain't the lead singer no more. Call yourself something else. Separate yourselves from the Saliva name, because if it would have been named something other than Saliva, I would have been like, that's a 4 album all day. The only reason I won't give it a 5, and the only reason for Saliva, being a Saliva album, I wouldn't give it a full 3, is because of the cymbals. Something is up with the mix on the cymbals. They are so buried. Every venture that I've listened to this on, I've listened to this over my studio monitors, I've listened to it over the surround sound system on the phone, some earbuds. The cymbals sound so dissonant. They're not really in the mix, they're buried in the mix compared to everything else that is overpoweringly loud. I don't know who mixed the hell out of the album, but they overmixed everything, cranked it all up, except for the cymbals. They are super buried. I would have loved to have heard a little more high end and a little more crispness out of the cymbals, a little more sizzle, but there was none of that. It was not cutting through the rest of the mix at all. It was not that great. But outside of that, then again, like I said, taking that out of account, the rest of the album sounded good. Like I said, change the name. That's all I suggest, fellas. Change the name. But like I said, I give it almost a 3-star for being a Saliva album, and that's only because of the mix. I would have gave it a solid 3-star if the cymbals would have cut through a little bit more, and you would have had a little more prevalency. But like I said, not Saliva anymore. 2023 is not Saliva anymore. Time for name change, fellas. All right, be sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Be sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know you guys are liking this content. Hopefully you guys go back and check out the other album review I did with Dax, What Is Life, and I also did God's Eyes open verse guitar. So go check that out as well. And I'll see you guys here around for another album review and more covers. Possibly doing some wrestling content and some comedy. Let me guys know in the comments section though. So, alright, catch you guys later. Bye!